You're all okay with the start time?
Yes.
Brilliant.
2 minutes more.
Gives you more time to write your fantastic pieces for tomorrow.
Dice que ha sido dar más tiempo para escribir arriba, hacer el vídeo y tal, así tenéis más tiempo.
I'm thinking of you.
Está pensando en vosotros, ¿eh?
If you're okay with this approach, I would like to repeat it moving forwards. If anybody has a massive problem and is going to turn against us on it, then please shout.
Buenos días, mister. Alex Heras del Desmarque y el Taller Deportivo. Me gustaría, después de celebrar, aunque es evidentemente un éxito la clasificación para la semifinal de la Copa del Rey, me imagino que por su cabeza solo pasa conseguir esa primera victoria en la Liga. Ya son demasiadas jornadas sin ganar para el Valencia.
You're absolutely right. I've not had a full opportunity yet to speak with the players. Obviously we travelled back yesterday afternoon. We did a recuperation in Las Palmas, but also the players who played the game did a second recovery session here. But the message this morning will be completely that we have to focus everything, all our efforts, all our attention on Sporting Gijon, and my attention has only been on Sporting Gijon since we won the game on Thursday evening in Las Palmas. You're absolutely right. Tomorrow is a big game for us, and a game which we have to focus all our attention. The Mestalla needs a victory, the fans need a victory, and we need them tomorrow to be out in force, to make it an uncomfortable experience for the opposition and to make it a fantastic experience for us. And we need to give a performance to match their efforts and their application to us.
Buenas, aquí Chema, del folio del Taller Deportivo. Quería preguntarle dos cositas rápidas. Una, si lo de Las Palmas es el camino, sobre todo por ese centro del campo, con Enzo, Dani y André por delante, si eso va a ser la base de la recuperación del equipo, y después le hago la otra pregunta.
I think it's impossible to say that is the way forward, because we had a coaches meeting yesterday afternoon to look at the programme for the next month, and we have 11 matches up to Atletico Madrid. I think we counted. I think in the next 35-36 days. Please correct me. I know you will correct me if it's a little more or a little less. So I think that when you look at 11 matches in 35 days, I think it's impossible to play exactly the same people every single match. I think that when we have a squad of 22 players, the reason we have them, we have obviously Fuego coming back, we have Zahibo, we have Danilo. We're going to need all players in the next period of time because of the intense programme. It's the busiest programme you could wish for, which is good in one way, which means that obviously we've achieved some success in the cup competitions. But we have to make sure that we have a very strong team out that are fresh and fit. And I feel that, I said this before the Las Palmas game, we only have now 2 injuries, which is Fuego and Paco, and they're both recovering well. So I think that from my point of view now, it's a case where the work that we've done in the last month, the team is fitter, we've got less injuries. I think you can see that we're a stronger, fitter group of players and that we've got less injuries. I think we had 10 injuries in my first game against Lyon. Diego Alves is now going to be back as well in the next 10 days. So I think that we need all players. It would be very wrong of me to say we focus just on 3 players in the central midfield.
Y la otra pregunta, está diciendo con lo que necesita a todos los jugadores para este calendario. Yo le pregunto por uno, por Rodrigo de Paul, que tiene ofertas para marcharse. La pregunta es si usted cuenta con Rodrigo de Paul en el equipo en lo que queda de temporada.
Yeah, I pick up the headlines like you do every single morning in terms of offers and headlines and signings, and I'm grateful we have a sporting director now, because it means that I can remove myself completely from any discussions in respect of offers and things. I've said before, it's a very destabilising period in January, where everything seems to come together in the last week. Everything seems to sort of become more ferocious. Rodrigo de Paul has played many minutes for me. He's trained fantastically well, and I like the boy a lot. So from my point of view, I count on him.
Enrique Jimeno de VTF Play. Importante ganar también para rebajar, mañana contra el Sporting, también para rebajar la ansiedad y empezar a mirar más hacia arriba que quizás hacia abajo.
No, I completely agree. I said this before each league match, but I completely agree. I do feel that the goal against Deportivo last week, whilst it only achieved a draw, was a good moment for us, and it kept the momentum going in respect of where we're at. Obviously the Copa del Rey, making sure that we didn't lose last week away from home would have been a blow to us. But tomorrow, I think we need all the efforts of everybody in the club, including you, to deliver the result that we want. We need 10,000 fans waiting for us outside the ground as we turn up. We need 50,000 in the stadium. We need 11 players on the pitch. We need coaches in the dugout who all are facing the same direction, who can give this incredible atmosphere that we know that the Messiah can achieve, and that we can go out there and play and achieve the win that we all desire. Because I think I agree with you, it will give us even more momentum moving forwards.
Mr. Pablo García para Deportes 4. Usted siempre ha dicho que no prioriza más un partido que otro, pero teniendo en cuenta el rival tan fuerte que tiene en la Copa, usted, y teniendo también en cuenta que tiene un día menos de descanso, ¿desea que el Barça hoy se desgaste, se vacíe y llegue muy cansado para el miércoles?
Do I want Barcelona to be exhausted and tired? That'd be nice. Look, when you draw against Barcelona in a competition, the semi-final of the Cup, I can see why the attention of some people, including yourselves, would focus towards it. Honestly, as coaches, we have to prepare for the long term. We have to prepare for obviously the next month ahead, for the 11 matches and how we're going to approach it. And we had a meeting yesterday to discuss this. But honestly, we just kept coming back every single 2 minutes when we step forward, say, let's just get everything ready for Sporting Gijon. Let's focus everything on this match. Barcelona will take care of itself. Yes, we would have preferred the game to be on Thursday so that we have more rest, but we don't seem to be getting obviously the breaks or a bit of good fortune in respect of that, but that's not a problem either. We cannot complain, we have no excuses. That game will take care of itself. Everything has to be towards this game against Sporting Gijon, because for me it's the most important game. I cannot prioritise beyond that game.
Mister, buenas, Tony de las Provincias. Me gustaría saber qué nivel de importancia tiene Enzo Pérez en el equipo, porque volvió el otro día, fue el mejor, sobre todo en la primera parte, y cuando se fue cuando el equipo más sufrió contra Las Palmas. ¿Cuánta importancia tiene Enzo en el equipo?
He's important. I said this last week, that obviously with Diego missing, with Javi Fuego missing, with Enzo Perez missing, with Soso missing over the last 5-6 weeks, you know, we've had an Alvaro coming back to full fitness, obviously having been out for 2 or 3 months. You know, in some ways we've missed our experienced core of the team, the players who obviously provide that little bit of comfort for everybody else. It was the same when I was playing, when I was a young player. I liked the idea of having sort of experienced players alongside me to be able to, you know, cuddle me and love me during the game. And obviously now with Soso returning, with Enzo returning, with Diego Alves returning, with Alvaro getting now at full fitness and playing more and more, I feel as though we're in a stronger position than we were 4 or 5 weeks ago with the experienced players returning. And Enzo obviously is one of those players. He trains fantastically well. He puts up every single little bit of effort into every single training session. You can see his strength and presence on the pitch. And obviously, having played him in the game the other night, you know, I agree that, you know, it'd be nice to keep him on the pitch for 90 minutes, but I think also we need to make sure that we don't get any reoccurrence with this programme we have coming up. So it's a little bit of a risk to take him off. But on the other hand, I think that it was a risk worth taking, because, like I say, he's been out for a period of time and we don't want to risk re-injuring him.
Sería con 2 o 3 últimas preguntas.
Hola, buenos días, Gary. Ha habido un interés del Valencia por un medio centro del Deportivo, Mosquera. No quiero que entre a valorar ese interés. pero sí quería saber si le preocupa la salida del balón del equipo, si es algo fundamental para que su idea de juego se vea reflejada en el terreno del juego.
It's critical we play out from the back. I mean, it's absolutely critical that we play well from the back, from behind, and that's not something that changes. I think in respect of, I've seen us linked with 4, 5, 6 players over this last week, some of which I've never even heard of, and I think that I'm happy for you to speak with Suso. I'm sure he's very, what's the word? He's accessible, as we all are, but no focus of mine in this last week has been any different than it has been for the last 5 to 6 weeks. I actually thought in the first 55, 60 minutes against Las Palmas we played the ball out of the back very well. But then obviously in the last 25 minutes, the momentum of the game changed slightly and Las Palmas were pressurising, and in these moments in games it's always more difficult to play out from the back. Football's never changed in that respect. When you're on top, when you're in the ascendancy, you seem to have more time on the ball, but when the other team has their period in the game, and I don't know any game that you will ever play away from home where the home team doesn't have a period in the game that is strong. And Las Palmas' period in the game was the last 20 minutes on Thursday night, and that was you always leave a game with the sensation of the last 15-20 minutes, even if the previous 70 minutes was very strong. And I thought against Las Palmas we should have been 2 or 3 goals up, and we played very well out from the back. But obviously in the last 20 minutes, but no, my focus hasn't changed. We have to play well out from the back, and I think in large parts of games we are doing.
Mister, el otro día también volvía un jugador, era Sofian Feguli, fue muy importante en la primera parte de la temporada, ahora llevaba mucho tiempo lesionado, está también medio pendiente de si renueva o no con el club, si hay ofertas para que se marche. ¿Lo ve usted centrado y sobre todo comprometido con el equipo?
I've only known Soso for 6 weeks, six and a half weeks now, and I've seen nothing but full commitment on and off the pitch. He's fully committed to this club. He's been here a long time, remember, and give a lot of effort to Valencia Football Club, and he will give a lot of effort in these coming matches for us. He's trained fantastically well with the medical team, with the fitness coaches, and now he's trained in the last 7 to 10 days with us. I can say that even when he was injured, he was in the changing room before the matches. He's vocal in support of his teammates. He was the one that was actually probably in some ways very vocal in the changing room in the games where he wasn't playing. So he shows commitment every single day in my mind since I came here. I had 2 or 3 meetings with him either side of Christmas just to speak to him, to see how he was, how his injury was, and he's been fantastic from the moment that I came here. I've got nothing to say about him other than positive. So from my point of view, he's come back from a difficult injury. I know 3 or 4 people who've had this type of injury. It's not a pleasant injury, but he's fully fit now. You saw him on the pitch on Thursday night, and he's now back in the squad, he's back in the team. He wants to be back in the team because against Las Palmas, he'd only trained I think 4 or 5 days, and I was a little bit undecided as to whether is it too early, should we leave him for the weekend against Sporting Gijon. But having spoken to him on Wednesday, he said no, I want to be there, I want to travel, I want to be back in the squad. And I said that's fantastic, and if he'd have said look I need another couple of days training, I would have said okay, I think that's probably sensible, but he wanted to be there, I wanted him to be there, so no, we've got full commitment from the player.
Muy bien, muchas gracias.